Cheers, everyone. I'm Brendan from Bourbon on a Budget. No, I am not TJ Pittenger, but I'm better looking than him, right, TJ? He won't see this video at all. It's fine. So I am doing a cold opening for our review today with a guest, Joe Decadence, with Joe joining the show as we're going to review this bourbon here. This is an absolute banger, one that TJ and I loved when we first got our hands on it a couple months ago. To put a little context for it, we wanted Joe to go in blind for this particular episode. I sent him the sample about a month or so ago, told him to hold on until he was on the show. Joe, for a little bit of background, so you guys know, he sent TJ and I a bottle of a sample of Widow Jane Decadence bourbon, which is basically a New York bourbon that finished its 10-year-old distillate in a maple syrup barrel, and it was sickly sweet. It was really intense, even for my sweetheart TJ. It was a little bit too sweet, so we like to give Joe a lot of crap for that, and hence why we call him Joe Decadence now, is because of the Widow Jane Decadence. So I sent him a sample of Taconic Distillery Double Barrel Maple Bourbon. This is what happens when you do maple syrup finish correctly. This is extra proof, so it's from the Taconic Distillery, which is in upstate New York. It's 115 proof. Basically, it's a 4-year-old bourbon finished another 6 months, I believe, in maple syrup barrels. This is from the Miami Bourbon Society. It's a cool little bottle here. You can see there's Miami. They had to work pretty hard to get this bottle. It's about $75, I think. TJ and I each have one. So yeah, I want to give you guys the specs on this before we went ahead and did the episode. Joe's going to be very confused by what he's smelling and tasting. The sweetness of this combined with the proof is going to create some really weird conflict for him. He thinks he's getting duped the entire time. So enjoy the show. We'll see if Joe can guess what this was. This is a true testament to decadence. This is a very decadent bourbon, and we're happy to have Joe on the podcast. So wait for that beautiful cork to pop in about a second here, and I'll see you on the other side.
Cheers, everybody. We are back for another edition of Bourbon on a Budget. Myself, TJ Pittenger, Brendan Sinone, Ben Cock, and everyone's favorite guest. Sorry, Elliot. Sorry, Sean. Sorry, Ari Weissman and everyone else. Joe Decadence. How's it going, Joe?
Going great. How you guys doing?
Good. Thank you.
Good.
You just stole TJ's bit. He asked us how we're doing, and you just ruined it, Joe. Way to go. TJ's crutch has been kicked out from under him.
I never actually care how you and Ben are doing.
I'm doing great, guys. Thanks for
asking.
I
knew it. I knew it all along.
You knew it. What are we drinking tonight, boys?
Well, funny whiskey. You should ask, TJ, because it's Whiskey Blind that if you watch the intro to this, you know. But Joe Decadence, a man of robust and rich flavor profile in his life, he does not know. He's going into this blind, and so that's how we treat our guests here, rudely.
I like it. So we can't talk about it. We can't tell you the specs on it. You know what it is because we told you on the cold opening. Great cold opening there, Brendan. Honestly, one of the best I've ever seen.
Nailed it. Can't wait to record it.
But we can't tell you anything about that. Means less, BS. I mean, if Joe gets upset when we get off the rails, so we'll just jump right into it.
Yes.
Stay focused.
What are you guys nosing here? Joe, you're our guest. You tell us.
I'm nosing. It's sweet, definitely a sweet nose, but it's a cheap sweet.
The old cheap sweet.
Yeah, my nickname in college.
Yeah. Hey. It's not a decadent sweet for sure. It's quarter candy sweet, maybe
water candy.
Like quarter candy, like 25 cents.
Oh wow, cheap.
No, it's a a quick, you get a punch of sweet, and then it kind of, that's really all I'm getting. Like a
agreed
sugar candy.
It is a lot of sweet, a lot. Oh, sweet on the nose.
Brendan, what you can tell, I think, unless you're super opposed to this, you can tell the age and the proof if you want to. He wouldn't know from that.
Ooh, hold on. I want at least Joe to guess the proof, because proof is misleading here.
Wait, has he sipped it yet? Have you sipped it at all?
I did. Okay. I've sipped it twice.
Okay.
Oh yes.
It's not. I don't think it's over 100 by any means.
Oh yes. Oh yes.
It's over 100.
Continue, Joe. What age do you think it is?
I'm going to say it's probably in the 4-year range.
All right, there you go. Yep, 4 years,
It's
aged a little bit longer in another barrel, so it's 4.5 years old. Yep, good
Okay.
call.
What's the proof, Brendan? What's the proof?
The proof, Joe, is 100.
His name's Ben.
What? No, but I want to tell Joe. Ben already knows
okay.
what it is. TJ? Ben? Joe?
Yes, I'm here.
Are you guys all there? It
you
is
hear me?
100. Oh my God. It's 115 proof. 115.
Really?
115, baby.
115.
It's deceiving.
I'm not getting a bite or a punch or anything off that.
That's
Now,
right.
is that a good thing to have 115 proof and not get a punch or a bite? Like, does that mean
Yes.
it's smooth?
Yeah,
Is that
kind of. I
a
mean,
high quality?
You're drinking a higher proof. You definitely want to have something. You want to know you're drinking. You want to know it's there. It's kind of just fades fast.
Oh. So
Mhm.
we have. It's
And you-
amazing. We have the knowledge of like what it is and that proof going into it. And so I think when we've tried it before, be like, oh, there's a nice little burn to this. So it's funny, like what your mind does when you think you know something versus going in blind.
I don't get a
And
whole
one
lot
thing,
of
I mean-
burn.
Yeah,
Yeah,
what
I mean, when you have a high proof, it doesn't have to burn or punch hard or be like uncomfortable. You just want to know that you're drinking it. I feel like.
It's like a nice smack in the face. Just
Mm.
wanna, but like a
That's
that's
If that's what you like. I mean,
Nice smack in the face, like with George's hands, the soft hands.
oh, those
You
tiny
told
little
this joke
hands.
before.
Little
yes,
tiny
we
hands.
did. I think with this exact burn.
With this exact reference.
Oh man, don't say that. Joe's like a diehard. He'll know exactly what it is. Oh, episode 37. You guys review.
He said he's a few episodes behind, so
Yeah.
we may.
No,
we
I'm all caught up. I put in my
Uh-uh.
time, and I was embarrassed to say
I
that.
put in my time. He sounds
Yeah.
like he's in jail.
He's like, I'm done. I did it.
All right, let's talk about the taste on this thing. Brendan?
Sweet.
It is sweet. I will say that. Is it sickly sweet or stickly sweet, Ben? Which one is it?
It's sickly.
Oh,
I've
sickly.
never heard stickly.
But it's like stickly, like if you touch it, it'd be sticky. So stickly sweet.
No.
No, doesn't exist. The limit does not exist. It's sickly.
You would just
sweet.
say sticky. You would just say, so why would you just add an
It's
L if it was
stickly.
about
I am
It
getting.
was sticky, so I said it was stickly.
Don't worry about that, guys. I'm getting brown sugar. I'm
Sickly
getting
sweet.
maple syrup pancakes on this, or like
Mhm.
a pancake drizzled in maple syrup. A little bit of a buttery smoothness, like the mouthfeel on it. I feel like is pretty nice and
I would say it's
robust.
very oily. Like has
Yes.
a lot of
Oil is a good
mouthfeel.
word.
Oily mouthfeel. Yeah. So again, I feel like buttery pancake is kind of
Yeah,
how
definitely
I'm
butter.
interpreting this. A little bit of pepper though on it, like a little black pepper, like it's some nuance.
I would like a little more spice. I would like a little more fight, a little more in your face action. But that's just me. It's very sweet.
Joe, would you like to add some thoughts to that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Those flavor profiles are definitely coming through. I think the nose might be a little bit sweeter than the than the actual taste. It's still sweet, but the nose tastes very different. Or the nose taste. The nose is much different than the way it tastes.
It is a little misleading. It's funny, Joe. The first time we all opened this up and tried it, I was with Ben and TJ, and Ben
Yeah.
goes, this nose. I think he said it was a disaster or a mess. Ben was not
Yeah.
a fan of the nose at all.
Yeah. Nose is just too much on the sugar spectrum.
Mhm.
But I really think what's saving us here is the proof.
Mhm.
If this was proofed at 100 or 95, we'd be getting crushed with sugar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a little nuance. TJ, after you finish that gulp there, you are a sweet whore. Is this
That was also my nickname in college.
a lot of nicknames, depending what day
Hey,
of the
sweet
week
whore,
it was.
get over here. I think they call me the finished whore or the toasty whore.
Toasty whore. There's
I
just-
don't love sweet whore.
Oh, okay.
Sounds a little
Toasty whore.
Sounds a little too like that could
Personal.
really be the name. Yeah.
It hits home too much.
Yeah, that one's cuts right here. No, it's just fantastic. Like Ben said, I mean, there's a ton of sweetness, but the sweetness almost reminds me of like a Woodford Double Oaked, but because it's so high proofed and you're not drinking it at like what's Woodford Double Oaked, like 90.4 or something stupid.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
So, because you've got
Stupid.
25 more proof in there,
Mhm.
it's not just a sugar bomb. Now it's still plenty sweet. Don't get me wrong, but It makes it a little bit more. It makes it a little bit more palatable to where you're not just. Somebody told me the other day, like, well, we talked about it a little bit in the main show. You know, their cold winter drink is like Woodford Double Oaks, and I was like, I just want to take a nap after that. Like, it's just so heavy syrup.
Yeah.
So, anyway, Ben, go ahead and crap on it now that we've.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the Double Oaks is so like vanilla, caramel, and like marshmallow, and this is more like what Brendan was saying: pancake, maple,
almost like a maple syrup.
Kind of.
It's kind of what you get.
You know,
It's like maple syrup in a glass.
Stop.
Let's not steal other people's lines, okay? Like,
Jeez.
Go take your hat off and sit in a corner. Put a dunce cap on. All right, how's it finish?
I think it's quick. I think it's a little quick. It's quicker than I would have expected at 115 proof. But
So
it's
kind
not
of like,
bad.
Kind of like what your wife says.
Exactly.
That's what that's what threw me off too is the finish with the proof. I probably jumped the gun and took a sip previous, and it didn't finish long, and it's not as sweet on the finish to me, and it does finish pretty quick compared to now what you told me the proof is.
Yeah, it doesn't finish like 150. I was sampling stuff for the previous show, and there was like Old Forester 1920s 115 proof, and that finish goes on for a really long time. This one is more abrupt for the proof, but like generally, like I think it's a pleasant finish. There's that sweet shows up, but probably the least sweet part of the entire process, and probably the most peppery, spicy part is the finish. So I tend to like the finish, but I'm also not great at detecting finishes.
It's valid.
Yeah, it's true.
So, all right, let's rate it. We're 18 minutes into this thing, really just 9.
No, because Joe and TJ killed us earlier.
So I know what we're drinking. I don't know what the price is, and that kind of bothers me as I go through the other ratings.
Does it?
It's important. Yes, it so does.
Joe, before I say the price, what's your favorite line that Ben likes to reiterate?
Dollars.
That is not. You are butchering it. Oh my god.
$20.
Dollars.
You are butchering it.
No, you'll see.
You'll see. It is between.
So were you on top of him the whole time? You're butchering it. That's what she said.
That's what she said. Speaking of, that's what she said. The price is $69 to $79, and
Oof.
I don't want to say allocated. It's
hard to find.
It's harder to find. Yeah,
But 115 proof.
but 115.
So I'm not hating it.
And it's like maple syrup in a glass.
All right, well, we're not at the value part yet, there, Ben. So slow.
Well, Ben considers value the whole time.
Value is important. Are you kidding me?
True.
It's not.
Ben or Joe, what are your thoughts on Ben's him factoring in? So as we're going to go through our scale here, 2 points for nose, 4 for taste, 2 for finish, 1 for finish. Oof, I don't have it in front of me. 1 for finish,
Man.
1 for cohesiveness and complexity, and then 2 for value. How are you going to factor in value here throughout? Is it going to be just the value portion, or is it going to be factored into every single level like Ben does?
So like I try not to think about value the entire time and just rate the nose for what it is. Doesn't matter what the bottle cost. And then at the end, I try and take that collective.
Yeah.
And then Ben thinks about it each way. And I feel like that's double dipping, good or bad. Like you're considering value too heavily. Really, you're giving value like
most important
3 points.
Value
you're giving it a quarter all the way through. It's roughly.
Value is most important.
It's it's tough. It's a fine line because if you do a blind value wise and you get to you rate everything true and then you get to the end, it's like that value takes over. It's tough to like ignore it on every category once you get there.
That's right. That's right.
Damn.
Preach.
But
Preach,
I try not to do that. If I love something and it's really good and I find out it's a little bit more than I wanted to pay, it's like, well, I really like it, so it is what it is. I'm not going to kill it for it just based off of value. But it does cast a heavy shadow once you get there.
All right, Ben, go ahead and crap on this thing's nose. You get 2 points for the nose.
Whoa.
Nose ain't. I mean, okay. Nose is strong. It's sweet. I mean, it's very sweet. Would I have liked a little more spice, a little more vanilla? Yeah, but it's nice. It's there. I'll tell you that much. It's definitely there. So I'll go 1.5 here. I'll go 1.5 here.
Brendan.
I am in step with Ben there. It doesn't do a lot, but what it does, I think it does very well. So 1.5 for me. I like it.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of right there with you guys. I said in the beginning, it smells like, it's sweet, cheap candy, but cheap candy is not necessarily a bad thing. It's
It's
I would
also
say
more
I'm
than
right there in
25
line.
cents,
thinking
69 or
about value.
$79.
Yeah. But I'd probably go with a 1.5 because it's not bad by any means. It's above average.
I'll round it out. I don't know that it's good enough to
2.5.
I don't know that it's good enough to get to a 175, but I'd say it's like if I had to lean between a 125 and a 175, like this leans over 1.5, but I just can't give it. I can't go all the way up to 175, and we haven't introduced eighths of points yet. So for taste, let's start with Joe on this one. Out of 4 points.
On the spot.
Ooh, out of 4, I'm probably going to go with 2.75.
Okay.
It's good. I like the change in sweetness. It's a little bit of a better sweetness, I think, on the taste than the nose. I wouldn't put it up into the 3s, but 2.75, I'll go with.
I'm going to go with a 3. I'm going to say it just barely dips over that. It is above average. I like the sweetness. Obviously, you guys know that I'm pretty partial to stuff that has the sweetness, and so I will give it the 3 out of 4. Brendan.
3 out of 4 for me as well. It's very good. I like that there's a little bit of drama and nuance to it. Probably the most complex part of the dram is the taste here, right squarely in the middle with the palate. It's very nice. So a 3 for me. Ben?
So we haven't revealed what this is yet, right? Or
correct.
Anything about it. I feel like we should going into this because I want to.
I think we should add.
I want to talk
value.
about this.
We should have value.
Dang it! Because I want to talk about it as a part of taste because it's. Can we at least talk about how it's finished?
No.
Yeah, no, I think we can.
We can't on finish. We can't on finish.
Okay.
That's not part of it. Okay.
I'm in favor of saying we could say it's finished in something.
Yes. Okay.
But not what that something is.
That's fine. Okay. So the fact that it's finished,
a barrel,
and that it's sweet, I don't know if any bourbon drinker I would give this to and then be like, this is disgusting. Like it tastes good, The finish is lacking, but it tastes good. Especially at 115 proof.
2.25. Go ahead.
I think I'm at a 3. I think I'm at a 3 too. This is a good tasting whiskey. Is it my profile? No. But it's good.
To me, that's the biggest thing. We were at Jimmy's the other day, and we both tried something that we said we did not love the way it tasted, but we said it was quality for what it was. And we both said Brendan would have loved this because it's more of what he likes. It was just more smoky. It was more peated. Yeah. Ben and I said, it's not bad. Like, it's not like repulsive. Like, I don't say, oh, this is gross. It's just not what I like. Obviously, that's one of the cool things about gas bars and Davidoff and some of these different places that let you try things. You don't get home and find that out. You get to try that in the store. But similar to this, I think Ben is giving this a good score because it is it's good quality.
It's not,
but it's just not what he would go reach for. So to explain his rating for him. Brendan, do you have a point? I think I cut you off there.
No, I don't think I had a point. I can't remember what it was.
Oh, there's no point then. Finish, Ben. Since you gave it a good score on taste, let's go ahead and knock it down a level or 2.
Yeah, this is out of 2, right?
Only if you consider the value with it.
Okay.
What you do?
So I'm going 0.25. The finish is gone. Like, it's the most disappearing finish of 115 proof bourbon I've ever had. It's like gone.
I'm gonna pour a little more of this because I don't know if it's that bad.
Yeah, I'm in disagreement like pretty steeply here with Ben, but Ben and I are usually probably the most far off on finish for whatever reason.
Yeah.
If this doesn't end abruptly, it's not a long lingering one, but the way it goes from the sweetness on the nose and then a little more rounded out, still sweet though with the taste. Then for the finish, you get this like nice peppery vibe. I think it actually adds. It's the one level of complexity to this entire drink that I enjoy. And I think it works well with the taste. Like I think it transitions nicely. So I'm going to at 0.75. I like the finish a good deal.
Mm-hmm.
So suck it.
Yeah, I think I'm. not the finish, but what he was referring to. I think I'm closer to Brendan here. I got a 0.75.
Wow.
It's probably closer to 0.5 than it is to 1. I'll say that, but not all the way down to
What
me
a
saying
homer.
it's mediocre. But yeah, 0.75. I think the sweetness and the spice both kind of come in. You get some of the heat from the proof. I think it's a good finish. I don't think it's elite by any means, but I do think it's good. Joe Decadence.
Go Decadence.
I'm going to probably split the difference in you guys right now and give it a 0.5. It's decent. I don't love it. I don't hate it. Kind of consistent with the rest of my feelings towards it, I guess. I have Ben's Eagle Rare review in the back of my mind, like I'm going to get screwed at some point, that this is something awesome. But
Yeah.
no, I'm going to go 0.5.
No, we're not. I promise you we're not doing that, but we really should have. Now that you said it, I'm like, crap, why didn't we give him something like,
Even the bottle has like a
amazing?
little like smiley face on there. It's just like super sketchy.
Yeah, that's just Brendan.
I was
That's
just being
also
weird.
known. Cohesiveness and complexity, Brendan.
Sorry, Ben caught me off guard with the message in the group chat.
Do it, man. You won't.
I've been doing it the entire show.
Oh, oh I don't listen to it.
Cohesiveness. I love inside jokes.
One day I'd love to be a part of one.
Cohesiveness, the one with the repeated joke. Cohesiveness and complexities out of 1. I am going.
You guys aren't my
So-
friends anymore.
It's super. I don't get it. It's super cohesive, right? Like all the way through, sweet. Even at the end, it gets more peppery. I'm gonna give it a little bit for complexity, but not the full half point there. So I'm gonna go 0.75 totality for cohesiveness, complexity. Very cohesive, a little complex.
I like that. 0.75 me as well.
All
Joe.
right.
I was going to go 0.75 just because it's pretty consistent or cohesive. Complexity, I don't get too much, but I'll give it the 0.75.
Ben?
0.5. Cohesive, 0 complexity.
Did your mic just go out? Do you have 0 complexity on your mic? Seemed
No,
that was really quiet.
my mic is working fine.
Okay. Just need you speaking to the microphone.
Screaming into it.
All right. So before we get into value,
Mm-hmm.
our scores are Ben with a 5.25. Brendan has a 6. Woof.
Whoa.
Oh,
Terrific.
Whoa.
I also have a 6 because Brendan and I had the same rating for every single category tonight, and Joe with a
Aw.
5.5. So this is rating really well before we even get into the 2 value points. Brendan,
Yes.
tell our friend Joe Decadence what is the whiskey we're drinking.
Ben, do you want to tell him or do you want me to tell him?
okay, I'll tell him.
All right.
Mr. Joe Decadence. Pay attention here. It is a Taconic maple syrup finished barrel strength bourbon.
Double barrel.
Oh, double barrel
You
strength.
know how much you love.
Think about the
Maple
Widow
syrup
Jane
finish.
that you sent us and just make it better, just in all aspects. And that's what you would get. This is what you would get.
This is like your favorite whiskey in the world, but only better, Joe.
Even better.
Merry
Oh,
Christmas.
Yeah.
I mean, Happy Kwanzaa. Sorry.
Has there been a point that I've actually said that I like Decadence?
I mean, when you sent it to TJ and I, and you were so nice to give it to us on a road trip up and like gave us glasses, you were really thoughtful for it. And you were like, guys, this is my favorite whiskey in the world.
You were
and I
like
want
so
you to
stoked about it.
share it together. I remember
Love it.
that vividly.
Or as I like, let me get rid of the rest of the bottle.
That's a move. I'll give you that.
All right. So as we get into the specs, so this is Taconic Distillery, which is in upstate-ish New York, somewhere between upstate and I guess New York City. Double barrel maple bourbon. This was a store pick from down in Miami.
Miami Bourbon Society. Yeah.
Miami Bourbon Society. Apparently, they had to go through all sort of loops to get this too. Like this was something that is hard to find. It's allocated like the actual maple syrup, like their baseline entry level one is 90 proof for Taconic's maple syrup. Joe, what was the in all seriousness? Because I've got the Widow Jane Decadence as well at my house. Been really interested in trying something maple syrup finish. I got it, and it was really sickly sweet.
Sickly sweet.
What about $80 for the Widow Jane Decadence? Does that sound about right?
I want to say it was closer to 100, honestly.
Oh my
All right.
gosh.
So that
I
is
believe.
more. That might be right. So it's on the higher end for a bourbon.
Oh my,
More
oh my
readily,
gosh.
more readily available than this specific bottle. But if you,
But
can
also
get your
still not
hands-
super easy to find by any means.
No, you can get online anytime you want, but then you're having to pay like an extra $20 for sure. You're talking about 100 to 120 at that
Oh
point.
my
then
gosh.
which is making Ben Decadence go crazy. So, anyways, as we determine value on this, $69, nice to $79. But finding it, however, is going to
Nice.
be difficult. So let's factor that in. Should I start with value on what I would do for it?
Yes.
Okay, I'll stop rambling. I really like it. It's great. I would pay $69, nice to $79 for this, and would like to have this in my collection at all times. However, can't find it very often, so I'm going to ding it quite a bit for value. I'm going to go 1 point out of 2 for value. It's average value given the scarcity of this on the market. Ben, I will throw this to you since you hate it.
I don't hate it. It's just not my style, you know? Like, come on. I'll probably go 0.75. It's not
So below average value?
below average value.
Okay.
Mr. Decadence?
Yeah, Mr. Decadence, what do you got there? Since you love maple syrup finished stuff so much.
I'm conflicted. I'm confused just because I love the fact that it is higher proof.
Yes, I know. That plays
But
in my mind.
the finish is throwing me off. I'm thinking maple syrup finished, store pick, 115 proof for $70. You'd think like, let's go, hell yeah,
Yeah.
But the finish didn't really do it for me. I'm still not saying that it's bad by any means. I did enjoy it, and I probably would enjoy it more if I just was kind of just casually drinking and not thinking I'm going to get destroyed on a podcast right now.
Cool rush.
But no, I would probably go. I'd probably give it a 1 as well for value. I think it's worth that.
Brendan
Brendan already went, but back to you, TJ.
Brendan didn't put his in the thing. I was asking him if
That's
he
what
would
she said.
to,
Anyway, back to
like to
TJ.
include his
69, nice. Decadence.
score. So what was your score? For
1.
the board?
1.
Oh, okay, good.
Joe
I'm gonna go
actually said he agreed.
1.25.
Yeah,
Wow.
1.25.
There is a
Above
homer
that.
factor here because TJ and I both paid for this bottle. So
Oh, yeah, you
factor
guys are
that in.
screwed.
We're definitely what? No, I'm like when I'm done with this, I will miss it. Like I will be sad.
Yeah, I think this is above average. I mean, I think you get what you pay for. Could you get this specific store pick again? No. But could you get one that's probably very similar? Another single barrel of this? Yes, it is possible. It's not impossible by any means. So
simple.
Those Miami guys had to like the Miami Bourbon Society. Like it wasn't easy for them to get it. Correct? Like
it's not easy for groups to. Yeah, but like if you're a store owner, I'm assuming it'd be a little bit
Miami
easier.
Bourbon, you rock, guys.
Yeah,
You rock.
shout out to them.
Miami,
But it's above average. I mean,
Mario Cristobal.
if you like this, and I give this a 6 out of 8,
Mm-hmm.
I would pay the cost and jump through the hoops to be able to get a bottle of this, right?
Yeah.
Like, so like to me, jumping through a hoop and paying $80, like that was very worth the value. And so it's above average,
Yeah.
1.25.
If
That's
this
not,
was,
I don't even think that's being a homer. If you like
It's
something,
very
you give it-
deceptive. It's probably one of the lowest drinking 115 proof bottles
I don't think there's anything necessarily wrong with that.
Oh no. It's more fun than
I'd also like to say
drinkable.
that if you give something a 6 out of 8, that
It's a high
giving it a 1.25 is not being a homer.
no,
Like saying
no,
that that's above average value is
I
not.
think it's reasonable.
I
How do
like
you
it.
think, what do you think this would do in a Manhattan or something like that? It's got the proof.
I don't think it matters where you are when you drink it. I mean, New York's nice. My Cara's up in the city right now. I think it'd
I
be
would
fine up
think
there.
you could almost skip. Yeah. I would think you could almost skip a simple syrup. Like if you make it old fashioned, I probably wouldn't be putting any simple syrup in there.
or very little, splash of that.
Yeah.
Did that joke just send Brendan right
Right to the pooper.
Brendan's out of here.
Yeah.
Goodbye, Brendan. Well, for myself,
Yeah, that was
TJ
fun.
Berdinger, Joe Decadence himself, and no Sinone.
You didn't love that, Joe, huh? All right,
We're
Brendan, whatever it
bourbon
is.
on a budget.
All Italian guys confused.
Hey, Brendan,
What?
how do you think this would? Do you think this would taste good in the Bronx, or no? Do you, so for the
For
people just
myself-
listening, Brendan has
Brendan.
left the show twice. So, all right, go back and check out Tuesday's episode where we talk about cold winter whiskey. We continue to try and get through whatever it is
Brendan.
we do. King of the Hill, please. Check out our rapid reviews. We're really enjoying those. And until next time,
Do you guys want to go through me?
this is
Myself.
Bourbon on a Budget. Cheers. That was a great dad joke.
Your mom's a dad joke.
Your dad's a mom joke.
Oh,
No.
that was pretty terrible. Joe, we always get videos of them dancing. Can you dance to this?
Dance?
Twerking is
No,
actually
get out of here.
preferred.
See, Brendan's always like excited.